Rabotai, part 3 of 3, stealing from a goy. Shiur is sponsored by our good friend Ezra Dweck HaKohen in memory of Yeshua ben Julia. Yeshua ben Julia.
I know it's not a popular name.
Yeah, it's okay. And then Shema should have Aliyah Ezra for all the good that you do for him. I'm sure he's very, very happy in Shemayim. Okay, so we're going to continue here and hopefully finish up the topic. The question we had the past couple of weeks is the halakha of stealing from a goy, the halakha of tricking a goy, the halakha if a goy made a mistake, the halakha if a goy lost an object. And so we're going to start here with Rabbeinu HaRambam as we go for the halakha. Says Rambam on page 7 in the pamphlets, and we have a bunch of pamphlets here if you want. Anyone who steals, Shavit. That's the Shavit. Anyone who steals a piruta worth, which is a penny, or it's a negative command from the Torah. Shneimar lo tivzol. En lokin alav zeh, but you don't get lashes. Why? Because it's a lav shenitak la'aseh. Because you can fix it. How do you fix it? By going and paying the guy double what he stole from you. Yeah. Oh, here. It's open. It's patuah. Yeah. Now, va'afilu sarafa gezela. What if you burned it and you can no longer pay it back? So it's no. You would say, it's not nitak la'aseh because you burned and destroyed the thing. Because then you could just pay the value of what you stole. Any love, anything that you can fix up, we're not going to punish you because we're going to instead let you fix it up. I said this last week. This is the words from the Torah. You cannot steal. Afilu akum, even a goy. Asur legozlo or leoshko v'im gezelo or hashakol yachzid. If you stole from me, you have to give it back. Rambam says there's a halakha from the Torah, not rabbinic. Bnei Adam shehizkatan gazlanin. If people are muhzak, they are, what's a good word in English for muhzak? They're established to be thieves. We know they have a track record. They're thieves. V'hizkat kol mamonah min hagezel, and we know that all their money is stolen. Like, for example, like we said in the gemara, the old-fashioned tax collectors that used to steal on their own. They steal for a living, like tax collectors of old, or robbers. You cannot benefit from their money. You're not allowed to get change from them. You're not allowed to benefit from them. By the way, this is a very big question. When they go around collecting money for shuls and schools, and a guy is in some sort of a crooked business, you can't benefit from it. It's stolen money. If you're stealing from Jews, at least at this point.
Question if it is, but then Adam is really raising money.
There are people we know that were locked up for people from my community at least. Yeah, you have to know what they do. No, from that's why it's got locked up. Put the jail. I have friends whose fathers spent 3 years in jail and growing up. Yeah. So I don't know, all sorts of cheating and stuff, insurance fraud, all sorts. Insurance fraud used to be a big thing. Remember someone that had your first name?
No. They call it Jewish lightning.
Jewish lightning, they call it? No, I never heard that phrase. When I grew up, there was a guy in Deal. His first name was Ezra. His last name started with the R. You don't know? He was like a big insurance fraud guy. He'd flood someone's warehouse, burn someone's warehouse. He got really big trouble. And so you can't take the money. Okay. What are we talking about? That when the tax collectors are crooked. בזמן, כליסטים בזמן שהיה מוכס עקום, או מוכס העומד מאליו, או מוכס העומד מחמת המלך. That's ואין לו קצבה. That's all the reasons the Gemara, if you remember the Gemara, that's all the reasons the Gemara gave. He just takes whatever money he wants. If you have a tax that the king or the government instituted, ואמר שיקח שליש או רביע או דבר שקצוב ויעמיד מוכס ישראל לגבות חלק זה למלך ונודע שאדם זה נאמן ואינו מוסיף כלום על מה שגזר המלך אינו בחזקת גזלן לפי שדין המלך דינו. If the king has rules that he says, all right, you give 25% of your stuff, 33%, and if you notice the Rambam here, he adds the word, and the tax collector is Jewish, Rambam says. It seems from the Rambam that if the tax collector is not Jewish, it doesn't really matter if it's honest or not, the way they read the Rambam at this point. Not only that, if you tax evade, that's what mabriach means. If you're tax evade, you're stealing. Not only you're not letting him take from you, you're obed on stealing from the king, whether it's a goy or a Jewish king. If they put a tax in the city, or I'll call ish v'ish dabar katsuv mishana l'shana, or a set tax on every citizen, or I'll call sadeh v'sadeh dabar katsuv, or a certain tax in every field, or or someone transgresses a certain rule of the king, we possess his property, or whoever's there when the guy comes, you have to pay whatever the rule is. All these types of rules, it's not called stealing, because at least there's rules. You know the rules of the game that you have to play by. Set rules for everybody. Again, he says Yisrael. If the tax collector is a Jew, you don't assume he's a liar and a thief. He's kosher. As long as he doesn't add to it. So it seems from the Rambam that he holds any type of tax collector that's not a Jew. Maybe you can still assume. It seems from the Rambam. He says it twice. Rambam goes further. This is a different Rambam, actually. If you notice that the title on page 8, I pasted here a Rambam from Mishnah Kelim, that if the tax collector is not Jewish, it might be okay, even if it's an honest tax system to evade. Because twice he says the word, the collector is Jewish. In the last paragraph he says it. You see what he says? The second to last line of the page. Now, I might need some help with you guys who speak good Hebrew here for this one, because I don't really understand every word. But the next page, page 8, is not Hilchot Rambam, it's Pirush Mishnayot Le Rambam. Rambam wrote a Pirush and a Mishnayot. And then the Mishnah Kelim, he wrote the following. So I might need your help here, okay? Ala Minhag HaMifursam, on this widespread custom, Shetulin HaMa'ot VeHadinarir B'Savar HaNe'arot HaKetanot, that they hang coins on necklaces on the young girls. The young girls walking around with little coins on their necklaces. Vesela Udal dinarim. A sela is worth 4 dinar. Beshekel hu hatzi sela. A shekel is half of a sela, which is 2 dinar. V'ushene dinarim. V'imish ad me'ad sela pachot mishne dinarim. If they invalidate a coin, it used to be they would invalidate a coin. I don't know how or what caused them, but they would say this coin, it's not, maybe they used to go by real weight. So they would say this coin is not actually 4 sela, sorry. They're 4 dinar. This coin is invalidated. So if they would take an invalidated coin, you cannot wear that on your necklace anymore. If you have, I guess they used to trick the storekeepers, send the kids to the store to pick up milk, and hang the coin on their necklaces, and the coins with dafka, the messed up coins. And they're not going to check it because it's a kid. It's an invalidated coins. Wow, this reminds me of as a kid, we used to go to the batting cages. You ever go to batting cages? Yeah. So you could cheat the system. We used to put if you put quarters, batting tokens, like $2 when I used to go. Now it's probably $5. You put a quarter in some of them, you could just cheat it and still get it. All sorts of games like this. My dad used to tell me that in Brooklyn, remember payphones? He said he learned from his Italian friends. He hung out with the Italians, my dad. He didn't hang out with the Jews as much as the Italians. He said the Italians taught him you poke a hole in a quarter and you tie a string to it. You put it in the phone booth and you pull it back out, get your quarter back. All these things. Yeah. All these games they play. And so I guess they used to do the same thing. They take have an invalidated sela, hang on the necklace of the girl, and what is this? The storekeepers will turn her away because it's invalidated. And so therefore, Abal Yahatecheu says the Imam, you must cut it in half. You must cut the. Sometimes they would, you know, when you buy an IR, when they sell IR, they use that terminology here. The Syrians do it a lot. When they sell IR merchandise, irregular merchandise, Hugo Boss, whatever, but so they cut the label. You ever see that in like Ross or something? You have to cut it. The customer has to know that it's not the same as regular. Same thing here. You have to cut the coin. You have to cut the bad coin. Someone's going to be tricked, and he's going to take it for the full value, and it's really worth less. ובכאן אומר אותו דין כאשר יצא לנו הדיבור זאת הכוונה וזה שהמקום אשר ישתמשו בו בדינים ובמעות במספר הנה, these places that do this, אינה מותר לאדם שיקיים דינר או מעי יחסר ממנו השיטות, אלא שיחתוך אותו. You must cut the bad coin and show everyone that it's not a real coin. כל שכן שלא ישתמש בה או יטעה בה או בכוכבים, you cannot trick a goy by giving him a bad coin and saying, hey, there's a $10 bill, and really it's not a $10 bill. A lot of people are mistaken by this. I guess that's Jews. Yehidim is the singular people. They said, nah, it's fine. It's just a goy. It's a mistake. And it's missing the facts. Amar Hashem Yiparach Bedin Kinyano B'Mocher Asmo Le'Bechavim. It says like I said in the Gemara, when your relative sells himself Lo Aleinu to a goy as a slave, you must redeem him for the full value, right? V'Yishavim Koneo. In the next line it says, Yachol Yiglom Alav. You might think you could rip him off. That's what he said in our Gemara. V'Inyan Yiglom. What does Yiglom mean? Ya'arim Alav. Trick him. V'Yita'ehu. If this is what it's talking about, with a goy that you can't trick, for sure, if you're a guest in a goy country, you want to go to the market, you want to go to the shuk, and you're a guest in a goy country, and whatever, in Turkey or wherever you are, don't do it. For sure, you want to trick a Jew, never allowed to do this. All these tricks that everybody's playing, says the Rambam, don't do any of these games. You can't trick people. Even a goy. For sure, if the guy's going to find out, and this is what he's going to think about Jews, it's a very big sin. What does בהגעה mean? בהגעה לאדם תכונות רעות. Like, like מגיע. בהגעה לאדם, bad things are going to happen to you. Thank you. ואלו הרעות כולן אשר ביד השם יתברך שהוא יתעב אותם. He hates these things כי תועבת השם פלוס אלה. Hashem hates these things. So Rambam and Kelim, he gives an example. He says you can't trick a goy. If you go back to the next page, 9, reverse the first Rambam. You have a king who got mad at one of his subjects. Citizen. He said, that's it. Your field is my field. King decreed. Eminent domain. It's not called stealing. The king has the right to do whatever he wants. And you can have benefit from that because it's not stolen property. If you buy it from the king, it's yours. And the first guy can't take you to Bet Din and say you bought stolen property. All of their servants' money, all their subjects' money is theirs. It's now like hefked. And anyone who buys it from the king can get it. If someone possessed a field or a property outside the law, shehakak, sadeze gazlan, that's theft. Ve'alokeach mimenu motziim alim miyado, you cannot buy stolen property. Yeah, yeah, it's crooked. You can't buy it. The first guy can take it to court. You have to get a refund of what you paid for it. But I don't know how that works exactly. But he gets his field. But he may have to pay you what you paid. But he gets his field. The rule of the matter is, whatever the king establishes or the government establishes as the law, as long as it's a rule for everyone and not just for you or you, like our tax rule is, it's not called stealing. But if like Vladimir Putin goes to one guy and takes his thing, but nobody else, that's stealing. And Hamas is that's called stealing. The ministers of the king and his officers, if they sell the fields that they possessed from tax, it's a valid sale. About connects. When he's the undisputed leader of the kingdom. They voted for him or they agreed for him, and everyone, the majority, accept him as their leader. And they're his subjects. If he's a disputed leader, he's a thief. He's like a gangster. Now, the Kesef Mishneh, which is written by Kesef Mishneh, we know this by now. Written by Moshe. Who wrote the Kesef Mishneh? Kesef Mishneh, who wrote it? Rabbi Yosef Cairo. He says the following. Yesh l'tmoa al zeh. The Rambam says from the Torah, you can't steal from a goy. Says Maran Shulchan Aruch in the Kesef Mishneh, yesh l'tmoa al zeh. It's a bewildered. Shekatav she'asur le'ashkot dehakara lo ta'ashok le'acha. It says you cannot cheat your friend, and every time it says le'acha, it means a Jew. Not a goy. Says the Maran Shulchan Aruch, v'yesh lomar she'Rabbeinu sober k'tei piresh Rashi. Rabbeinu must hold like Rashi in our gemara. שאין גזל ממש שרי, כי לקח חילול השם, כגון היכא דטען ליורש שנתן לאביך ומת, וגם בתוספות כתבו שם, אף אגב לטעות העקום מותר, אסור להטעות העקום. And so therefore, Maran Shulchan Aruch, in the case of Mishneh on the bottom, he says, I disagree, and I think it's not from the Torah. Even though Rambam says it from the Torah, it will be rabbinic. It cannot say it's a biblical chiyuv to not steal from a goy. Now, we said if a goy loses something, can you keep it? Says the Rambam, Hashavat Avidah LeYisrael Misvat Aseh. Returning a lost object is a Jewish law. Hasher Teshivim. If you see something that your friend dropped and you ignore it, you don't pick it up and return it, then you violated the mitzvah of Lo Tereh Torahicha V'it Alam Tamehem. You violated a negative and you violated a positive. If you took the lost object without returning it, then you have 3 sins. 1, you didn't return it, and 2, you ignored your friend's lost object, and 3, you stole. But if you return it to the person, I'm sorry, I skipped. If you found it and you should have returned it, but you took it from a Jew, then A, you violated a mitzvat aseh. Hashavat Avidah. And number 2, you ignored your friend. And 3, you stole it. It's not yours. And so it's 3. Lo tigzol. You stole it.
You did.
It's not yours.
The definition of theft is not the definition of not returning Avidah.
What's the definition of theft? Taking something that belongs to someone else. It belongs to someone else. It belongs. You took it. You picked it up. You picked up something that doesn't belong to you. If you drop your phone and he picks it up, he stole. How is that not stealing? It doesn't belong to him. So if you dropped your phone, it's 3 sins. הרי זה עובר עבירה. Even if the guy who dropped it is a rasha, like we said last week, if the Jew is a rasha, it doesn't matter. You have to return it to him. He eats taref and all these things, not because he's starving and that's all he can afford. Because he wants to. He's hungry. He loves to eat pig. That it doesn't matter. You still have to return it to him. But if he is like, does it on purpose just to make the Jewish people angry, it's like another level. Most people who do things they shouldn't do, just whatever. I like shrimp. It's not because I'm trying to get you mad. I'm trying to get God angry. That's a very level that only a few people would get to. Huh? Yeah. If those guys, it's called le'achis. They're doing it on purpose, not because they just like shrimp or I don't know. It's too expensive to keep kosher. That's not to make God mad. It's whatever. But those guys are le'achis. Harehu apikoros. That's officially apikoros as Rambam, and then the apikorosim. And Mehallel Shabbat v'Farhesia, again, the same thing, on purpose. On purpose. Yeah.
Must be very well defined.
Yeah. That's why I said 100%. Yeah, that's why I used your phone as an example.
Yeah.
Your phone has your contacts.
He saw the guy dropping.
Yeah, but it's simanim. You know your phone. You can my code, my apps. You go to my WhatsApp. Yeah. Now back to this thing, apikores, who's someone again, and we abuse this thing. A lot of times people call people, "Oh, apikores." No, he's not. He's not. He's a good man. He just he gives into his temptations. Apikores is someone medafka has the halakha of a goy, and if he drops it, you don't have to return it. He says halakha of a goy, just keep it. Says asur lachziro, says Rambam, don't give it back to apikores. So someone who was on purpose. That's what he writes.
It's like a goy.
Like a goy.
That means that the goy is sulak zero.
Yeah. Asulak zero, unless we're gonna do it right now. Remember? You're wasting it. Yeah. You could do more good with this object than he would.
Provided
it's your job to.
So no, but I'm saying that the account is written on certain assumption that you're going to be the Torah doing this, doing that. But if you haven't done all of that, and you just say, "Oh, well, I don't have to repent," it's a go. I think you have a.
But even any guy in this room, if they find a water cache, what are they about? He's gonna buy Tel Aviv. What about kosher food? Is it a big blessing? He got mezuzah on his door. He's gonna pay rent for a house that has mezuzah. It's gonna be used. He's gonna
every option.
Everything. You pay your car. Your Tesla is taking you to shul. It's gonna end up in a good way. Even in leading a normal, basic from life already. You have to understand the level we're at. We're already at the cream of the crop. Any dollar you make is going 90% chance is going to a good cause. If you think about it. It's going to support a Jewish business, make a beracha, go to shul. What percentage of your money is like literally Vegas? Not much, I hope. Most of it. That's why when we go to work, we're doing a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah. We're working for what? So I can use the money and go to shul. I use the money and pay to live in Valley Village. Otherwise, I can go live in Oklahoma if I wanted to. I have to live here near a shul. I got to go to work. So you're doing a mitzvah. Right? Abedat, it should make you feel better about yourself. Abedat akum, if a goy lost something, muteret, you're allowed to keep it. If you return it, it's a sin to return it. Why are you making a rasha more wealthy? But if you return it just to make the kiddush Hashem, so they should glorify the Jews. They say, wow, look how good the Jews are. Mishubah. The guy with the dresser with Oprah, that's this. But even that, Kiddush Hashem, but yeah, but Mishubah. He didn't have to. Praiseworthy to do. But I'm not sure I would have done it.
A guy, a gardener on my street, truck got stolen. And they drove it not far away, took all his equipment, left. The guy brought the truck back, he was very upset. The box watched the gemara in his pocket, peel off $100.
Wow.
And this is, a goy.
Kiddush Hashem. But if there's no Kiddush Hashem, a guy drops it, you're gonna throw the 100 through the window. You go to the store, he parked his car, you parked his car, he's going to Costco, he dropped this thing. Oh, throw it through the crack in the window. He's not gonna even know who did it. Don't do it. Sounds like it is. If there's no Kiddush Hashem or lack of Hilul Hashem, will anyone know that you picked it up?
You did it.
No, it's not.
The whole point is you better bring a good name to the Jewish nation.
Needs to have at least one more. Need to have one more person present.
Or you're afraid that there's a recorder and maybe someone's watching and it's a Hilul Hashem. Okay?
Then you avoid Hilul Hashem.
Yeah. But if it's neither or, you're out in Fryman Canyon, going for a hike, a guy drops something, you can't return it to him and he doesn't know you're Jewish or whatever. There's no Kiddush Hashem, no Hilul Hashem. You take it and go buy kosher food. There's the Rambam. Ta'ut ha'akum. Now here comes the best part. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I try to say the word goy. I try to say the word goy and not goy. Use as much Hebrew words as I can. Ta'ut ha'akum. Huh? Yeah. Ta'ut ha'akum. If the akum they don't know what it means. Akum is a goy. Akum, now they know. Akum makes a mistake. You're at the store, he changed the wrong mistake. Now what happens? He gave you the wrong change. Abe, you return the change? Mr. Gabay, you return the change? This is the question. Ta'ut ha'akum ka'avidato is the same thing. Yeah, but now in Halakha Maaseh, the Rambam. Ta'ut ha'akum is like avidato. It's like he lost it. Umoteret, you can keep it.
And you think he's going to know it?
And one more. Vehu sheta'am me'atzmo. As long as he made the mistake. He made the mistake.
You can count the money. 20, 30, 50, you have 60.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah. Or like he's buying the goods from you, you put the thing and you try to stick this one closer, he should take that one. Because it's like damage on the other side. No. Don't trick him. He does it himself. Asur. You cannot trick him. If he makes a mistake, fine. Ketzat. For example, Raman brings an example. Tegon. He's counting the change and the guy made a mistake. But I just thought of something. It just happened now. I have to use the word akum. Akum, I gotta tell you something. The mind of the akum, not the same mind as the Israel mind. My wife, she asked me to order Uber for her students that's in a trip in Disneyland. And so I just now, so the lady, she calls me, I'm at the thing, where's the guy? And so my wife, the guy, Yehud guy, I said, the lady's here in Alexis. She's like, I don't see it. What are you wearing? She says, I'm wearing a gray sweatshirt. So the guy's like, okay, I'm looking for you. She's like, you see me? I don't see you. He says, oh, I got you. You're wearing a gray sweatshirt and white shorts. She's like, oh, yeah, I am. Yeah, she's wearing. The Israel mind, man, it's just faster. The going mind is a little slower. So says to my mom, Akum she'asa hishbon. The guy is making a hishbon. They can always change it later. He's making a hishbon. The guy's counting change. 20, 30. Yeah, that's wrong. He makes a mistake. You must say these words. You must say, listen, I'm not counting the change. You count the change.
Like the guy with the bull.
What was the bull?
Bull.
The bull in the story. Yeah. The guy in the bull. Remember the gemara in the story with the bull? He went to buy the bull. He bought a gold bowl, but it was copper plated, and the seller thought it was gold, copper all the way through. And the rabbi was like, this is not gold all the way. This is not copper. This is gold inside. He said, listen, I'm just letting you know, I'm going by your description. I'm not an expert. It says copper, that's good enough for me. You have to say these words. I only know what you're saying. So you tell the guy, you counted the change? Yeah, okay, I'm going by you. Ani noten lecha kegon ze mutar. About im lo amar lo ken, if you didn't say these words, asur shema yitkaven hagoy lebodko, as Rambam says. Maybe he's testing you. V'nimsa shem shamayim mithalel.
Because on the one hand, it says you're not allowed to trick. But if you know it's gold and looks like gold, and you're just saying it in order to make sure that it's his action or not your action, you're actually tricking. You're not upfront with him. You're not real. You know.
No. No.
Trick.
Exactly. The guy has a shelf and it says copper bowls, $10.
He's in a business to sell things. It's not like you arrange a guy to fall and pretend something and like.
Listen, if I go to a garage sale, I go to a yard sale, and they see baseball cards, and it says baseball cards, old baseball cards, 50 cents. I look, Mickey Mantle rookie card. He put the price, 50 cents. What's the difference? I didn't come to him and I say,
They don't say, because here.
how much is the Mickey Mantle rookie card? $1 million? $1 million for that card.
You actively announce that I'm going by your thing. So here you are holding the card. You know it's $1 million.
Yeah.
But you say, I don't know anything. I trust you.
I'm going to say, how much are these cards again? 50 cents. Just a bunch of old cards? Yeah, okay. All right, I'll take this one.
Okay, it's fine. It's different. You ask.
You have to say something.
Fine.
Because maybe he's
But
tricking
the
you.
language before was problematic.
What was the language? He said,
I don't know anything. I know what.
Al Da'ati Khan is, that's for change. Al Da'ati Khan is somich. The guy has a whole delivery. He's delivering a whole truckload of stuff. Listen, I don't know. I'm trusting you. What's on the packing slip is here. And meanwhile, you see, he gave you 3 times the amount. I'm going by your packing slip. That's what you tell the guy. Maybe he's setting you up. That's why. He sees the kippah. Okay, now.
Some relative of yours had chairs from a party.
Yeah, my brother-in-law. They're still in his house.
He kept the chairs.
They're in his backyard in like a shed. They're still in his house. Anyway, they had a brit milah and they had they rented these chairs, beautiful wooden chairs with like the white paddings, with the strings and everything. Expensive. And they said, when are you picking up the chairs? We got them already. I don't think you did. No, we did. We picked them up already. Sammy, my sister-in-law calls me. She says, "I have like 100 chairs. Could I keep them?" I said, first of all, what are you gonna do with them? but I said, just make sure there's no Hilul Hashem. I would write them another email and say, "Listen, are you sure? I mean, I'm pretty sure you didn't. If you say you did, you did. You have to put it on them." Now, there's a Shulchan Aruch here in the laws of marriage. Says Ma Shulchan Aruch. If you propose to a woman and you give her a ring that you stole, or begineva, stealing secretly or stealing openly, or behamas, that you got from Hamas. No. If the guy you stole it from, he gave up hope, it's over. He knows it's not happening. Then fine. As long as the guy gave up hope, if you heard the guy say, "I'll never find my ring," then it's a valid marriage. You shouldn't have done it, but it's a valid marriage. Okay, so far so good. Says the Rama Isserlis. Kitshab begezel o genevat akum. Says the Rama. So again, Ezra. Marash Hadu says if you use a stolen ring from a Jew, if the guy gave up hope, it's fine. If the guy didn't give up hope, you can't do it. It means if you heard the guy say, where's my ring? I'll never find it. It's over. He gave up hope. But if the guy says, I'm still looking for my ring, he didn't give up hope, you cannot use it. Okay? Says the Rama, this is Marash Haruch. Hold on. Says the Rama. Kitshab begezel or genevat akum. What if you stole a ring from an akum and you want to use that? Is the same law as the Yehud? Havem mikudeshet, says the Rama. According to Rambam, it's the Oraita. Says the Rama, mikudeshet. She is your wife. The Rama says if you stole something from an akum and you took this stolen object and you mikadesh the woman with it, mikudeshet. She's your wife. It's valid, says the Rama.
But if you stole something from a Jew, you have to just wait until he.
This is actually one of the last Mishnah to Bava Kama. As long as the Mishnah says, as long as the Jew still has hopes that he can find this item,
This person stole it from another Jew.
or it's no, your friend gives it to you and says, "Yeah, I just hushed this from Moshe's store." If you know that he's still trying to find it, if you know he gave up hope, then he gave up hope. Now the guy shouldn't have done. It's a kinyan of he shouldn't have done it, but it's a valid kinyan. You're a third party. It's a whole nother thing. Just you're a third party. You're not the guy who stole it. Makes it easier. Or after you bought it, you found out from the guy.
I don't understand why.
So the Rama says the stolen arbit of Akum is good. She's married. It's fine. What do you mean? What if the guy didn't give it? I don't care. It's fine. Didn't the Rambam say it's asur from the Torah to steal from Akum? Says the Rama, have a mikudesh that it's married. You don't really have to return it to the Akum. Rak mikoch kiddush Hashem. Only because of kiddush Hashem. Yani drabanan. Arguing straight away on the Rambam.
Well, the question is, does he believe that stealing from Akum is not the no?
Yes, Rama believes that. And Maran Shulchan Aruch believes that too.
No, but the
Rambam says it's the Rabbanan. Kesef Pinchteh says it's the Rabbanan. Rambam says it's the Oraita. Shall we finish next week? It's getting late. We have minyan? Let's finish next week. We're getting very close to the end. Baruch Hashem, amen. Rabbi Hanan ben Gasha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu לזכות את ישראל, לפיכך הרבה להם תורה מצוות שנאמר, אדוני חפץ למעשה כל ידיד תורה וידיד. אמן. 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 יש לי דבר לך לעולם, אומר מי בנך וישתבח להתפלל.